Hey, Thomas from Field Tennis. Today we're going to take a look at the smash on the bounce, and I will share 5 tips with you on how to finish the point or at least stay in advantage. And these 5 tips are also going to cover the most common mistakes that players do in this situation and how they eventually end up in trouble instead of in advantage. And I hope that with these 5 tips you're going to turn more of these situations in your favor. So let's get started. So here's the most common mistake players do in this situation when they have smash on the bounce. I'll first try to demonstrate it and I'll explain what's going on. This is what happens. So players are positioning, then they try to position correctly, and then the ball bounces over them and now suddenly they end up in trouble. So the first rule and the most important rule when it comes to smash on the bounce is never try to position correctly at first. So you must always position too far from the ball, just in case you misjudge the ball, in case there's a bad bounce and the ball bounces a bit different, in case there's a gust of wind, in case the ball has some kind of spin that you didn't notice and then it's going to shoot off a little bit. You can misjudge the ball, of course, and so all these can lead up to this situation that, right now I was in a very favorable position and in a split second I'm in trouble. And so the first rule is always position too far from the ball when you see the lob coming. Position too far, and then after the bounce you may realize that actually you're in the right place. That's great, then just smash from there. And if not, you're going to do a little quick correction forward. You will have weight transfer forward, you will move forward, and it'll be much easier to smash. So here's how this should look like. So I see the ball coming, I go too far, and then, see, this one I thought I'm too far, I'm not really, so I'm going too far. Now I step in and smash. So I'm going too far, then I can correct and step in. One more. Yeah, one more. Yeah, so too far. Now, toop, toop. I see the ball in front of me, I have better awareness of the court. With my peripheral vision I can see a little bit where my opponent is, if that even matters. Once you smack the ball this hard, maybe it doesn't even matter. I have weight transfer forward, so I want to go too far, prepare, and then quick, top, top. This is very quick. In most cases you will have enough time after the bounce because the ball kind of slows down up here, you have enough time. Move in and smash. The second most common mistake in this situation looks something like this. When the ball starts coming, players have the racket down. Now the ball bounces, and now they're starting the whole swing. So that's complicated, it's not efficient, it's troubling your movement, difficult to time the ball, and so on. So try again to show. Players have racket here, they wait, now the bounce, now the whole smash. So don't do that. So tip number 2, get both arms up immediately when the ball goes up. That's your trigger, up. Have both arms up. The racket should be somewhere behind your head. So I don't advise like a very standard trophy position with the racket upright, because then the racket has quite a long path to complete the whole loop into the shot. I suggest your racket is more here behind your head. How you know? You can just tap yourself a little bit when you're practicing like that, that you feel, okay, the racket's behind my head. This arm is somewhere here. So as soon as the ball goes up, get your both arms up, get your racket ready, and then move and try to find the right position. And I hit. One more. The ball goes up, my arms go up. I find position, I smash. I don't advise that you use a very old instruction in tennis, which is point at the ball. Your focus will be too much on what are you doing with your finger rather than reading the ball. So as long as this arm is up, it's helping your brain judge the ball better because it has some reference point in space. So there's no need to point at the ball. As long as this arm is up, you're in good position. Use tip number 1, first get too far from the ball, correct, and finish the smash. So tips 3 and 4 are very closely related, and what tends to happen, the mistake that players do, is that even if they're not so much under the ball this way, they are under the ball sideways because they are used from the serve situation to reach up to contact, end up more tilted, and hit the ball more above their head, and many times they're on their toes or even off the ground when they're jumping. So what tends to happen is that players end up in the smash situation and they're trying to do something very similar, and that's not the best way to hit smash on the bounce. So in this case I wanted to show how the player ends up too much under the ball and they're reaching up. So they're getting here, now they're reaching up, trying to hit the ball here, and they're not stable on the ground. So tips 3 and 4 are try to stay stable on the ground, don't reach up, because now you don't need such a good angle. Because why do we reach up on the serve? Well, we don't have a good angle to hit the service box, so we're trying to come up so we have a better angle down. But now I'm closer to the net and I don't have to hit the service box, so I'm not troubled with these downward angles. I already have a very good angle. So what I'm looking for is power and consistency. And I will have much better power at a lower contact point where it's much more comfortable for my body, so I don't have to tilt, so I can hit the ball lower on my right. And I try to be stable on the ground, so stable in the same way as if, for example, you're throwing a ball, you're going to step on the ground and have stability, or very similar to like we hit a neutral stance forehand, we're looking for stability. And so I want to, when I'm positioning for the smash on the bounce, I don't want to position under the ball, but I want to position so that the ball is on my right side for right-handers, on my right side, and I want to hit the ball a bit lower so that I can stay stable on the ground. So even this ball, you see, I stayed, the ball was to my left, and I'm still on the ground. I'm able to position around the ball. Here we go, one more. So I'm trying to position, you see immediately, you see even here was a little bit bad bounce. That's why we have to always, be too far from the ball and make sure. So I'm positioning to the right of the ball and I'm making contact lower where I can hit the ball with good power. I don't have to tilt and I'm staying on the ground. Staying on the ground gives me very good control of myself. Now here I can hit. So this one was just a foot long. So again, I'm positioning, I want the ball on my right side a little bit lower, not there, and I will have very good power and control. And tip number 5, and also one of the common mistakes players do in this situation, is that when they smash, they're smashing from their whole arm and pulling down a lot and not using the pronation. So a lot of smashes, overheads end up in the net. So it looks something like this. I'll try and demonstrate. So even if they position correctly, now they smash like this with the arm down. They're leaning too much forward, and that's very dangerous. So I made the shot, but it's not the right way to go like this. It's much more important to focus on pronation and get power from pronation. So I've demonstrated that quite a few times, but you weren't paying attention so much, so I want to hit more from here. So again, you feel pronation well, you should do that. If not, you should do some pronation exercises. Why do I want to smash like that? To make sure that I don't hit in the net. I don't want to hit in the net, so anything that's doing down is dangerous for hitting into the net. And also this is very important for difficult smashes, because if you can transfer weight forward and hit like this, that's great. You can even have some, technical mistakes in the smash and you will get away with it. But when the smash is difficult and you'll be going back like this and hitting, your only source of power is here from pronation, internal shoulder rotation. So you will not have good power nor good balance if you try to swing through all the way. And so the overhead smash technique is an abbreviated version of the serve. And so it's important to focus on pronation, and it will give you enough power to finish the point. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.